pleased to have with me today Bob Zarnetske, who is the administrator of the GSA, Government Service Administration here in New England. This morning, or this afternoon rather, is November 3rd, 2011. It's just about 1:30 now, and we're here on the steps of City Hall. The reason we're here today is to give the taxpayers of New Bedford a summary of the program that we worked with Bob on, allowing New Bedford to purchase vehicles from the GSA, which are taking our cars, which are 1992s, 93s, 94s, with 100,000 plus miles, always in the shop, very, very unreliable, don't have the safety features that you would want for our employees driving around the city, allowing us to take those cars off the road and replacing them with contemporary model vehicles. We just entered into an agreement with Mr. Zarnetske to purchase 25 different vehicles, about 14 sedans, and 11 either SUVs or work trucks at a tremendous savings for the taxpayers of the city of New Bedford. And we're hoping to continue to work on this program with GSA and Bob because it's provided us with tremendous value. First of all, I just want to say the cars that we had, we were constantly servicing. Most of the cars that we're buying from GSA still have warranties left on them. So it takes away the burden of repair, it takes away the burden of the large maintenance type of an issue. Second thing is they're very safe. Low mileage, perfect shape, great cars, used by other government public servants who then allow the city of New Bedford to go and buy these vehicles. What we saved on this, and then I'll turn it over to Bob, is as follows. For on the Blue Book value of these cars, we saved $110,000 in taxpayer money. In other words, if we had bought these cars at Blue Book value, it would have cost us $110,000 more. If we had bought them new, it would have cost the taxpayers of this city $415,000 more. $415,000 more of tax money to buy these vehicles new, and these cars are like almost new. Now, the administrator came in to see me in July. By the time we got to the beginning of August, we were working on this project together. I really sincerely appreciate everything that he's done regarding this. He has run interference with us. He made sure that this is a convenient, seamless program, and I really appreciate this type of federal grant, which is what it comes down to, a federal grant without the exchange of money to the city of New Bedford. So I want to turn it over to Bob now, and then we'll show you one of the vehicles. Bob.
Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. And I got to say, the city of New Bedford and you deserve an awful lot of smart. This program's been out there for years. The federal government maintains a vehicle fleet of about 400,000 cars. The General Services Administration is the agency responsible for managing that fleet of vehicles. And every year we dispose of about 10,000 vehicles. We buy vehicles in bulk, we buy them at a very discounted rate, and as we work through the vehicle fleet, we dispose of vehicles every year. Not many municipalities have recognized the opportunity that affords them. The federal government has a program where any municipality that wants to buy a vehicle from the federal government without going through an auction, buying them below book value in most cases, can do so. And not every city in New England has done it. You guys have recognized the value of the program, and I'm delighted that the benefits are being realized here in the city of New Bedford. I think that the one thing that I would say to you and say to the folks here in New Bedford is we want to continue doing this sort of thing. We recognize at the federal government that money is tight at the local level. We recognize that money is tight at the federal level. And when we can cooperate to make sure that taxpayers realize the full benefit of every penny they're spending, whether it's at the national level or at the local level, we want to do it. Cooperation is not about just, press releases and it's about doing everyday common things that make a difference to the bottom line. This is a small thing in a lot of ways. This is just buying cars. This isn't going to change the world, but it is going to change the tax bill. It's going to keep the tax bill low. Figuring out how to do things smarter and better is what good government is all about, and we're committed to continuing to work with you on that.
Thanks very much, Bob. Now, what I want to do is just show you these cars with Bob. I want you to understand now, these two cars replace two cars that were 1992, I believe, Corsairs. They were Chevys that were well over 100,000 miles, very, very unreliable. I have ridden in them on many occasions. Last time I rode in one, I ended up, we stopped at a light and all the water from the back rushed up through the floor pan in the car, got our shoes and our cuffs completely wet. Now that's an advantage if you're looking to have your shoes and cuffs completely wet. But if you didn't buy that as an option, it means you got a leak somewhere in the firewall or the trunk. Our cars are in very, very bad shape. We're trying to get them off the road. We hope to continue with this program. I hope if GSA has another auction anywhere in the near northeast, we're going to be there to take all the rest of these cars off the road. Tremendous savings, tremendous opportunity. So let's look at the first car. The first car is a Chevy Impala, I believe. It is a great car here. It's got a key to it. It's locked. It's got a key to it. I'm sure somewhere somebody's got a key.
I'll point out that the General Services Administration maintains its vehicles in a very aggressive way. We contract out for all of the maintenance work. That work is done here in New England by local shops. We make sure that they have an opportunity to change the oil every 3,000 miles. They go through the cars and make sure that nothing mechanical is ever defective for very long. So when you get this car from the federal government's auction, this car is road safe and ready to keep rolling for a very long time to come.
The only thing we had to do on these cars was put City of New Bedford logos on them, and that's the great thing about it. And as soon as we get a key, we'll get into this Impala. But you'll see it's spacious. It's got all the airbags in it. It's fully modern. This car will last a decade, and the way we will maintain them now is use the warranty as much as possible, and then when we have to maintain them, we have very, very fine mechanics. The next car we will show you, which is over here, which is a gray car, is used by Inspectional Services. Inspectional Services have some of the oldest cars in our fleet. This car is rearing to go. This is a Chevy Malibu, so we got an Impala and we have a Malibu. This car is open. You can see clean as a whistle. It's got now I want to tell you also, these cars are these cars are fully equipped from the standpoint of functionality, but we're not buying cars that are luxury type of cars. They're cars that day in, day out have all the necessary equipment. They're not a no-frills car, but we're not spending a dime more than the federal government needed to buy them new, and we're certainly not spending a dime more than what we need to have safe, efficient cars. Great gas mileage on these cars, power steering, all the airbags, very, very safe, and that's why we like them. And when you close the door, solid. That's a good car. Also, the tires are in good shape. Give us good, give us excellent service. So, how did this come about? Again, we need cars. We looked at a bond that was going to cost us just for these cars about $600,000, almost $700,000. We were able to save about $420,000, a little more than $415 to be exact. And then the other great thing about this is that just on Blue Book, we saved a ton of money, and we're very happy about that as well. So, the Impala, which I'd love to show you, we'll just take a peek in and get a little closer here. But the Impala is a little bigger, can carry 5 people without any problem whatsoever, which means we can move staff around. It's a great thing. Now, we also bought SUVs for the fire department. We bought SUVs for the fire department. We also were able to buy a couple of heavy-duty pickups and a couple of corral trucks, which are flatbed trucks which have the corral around them. Those trucks have been terrific for us because they have lifts on the back, so it prevents employee injuries. It allows things to be lifted much more appropriately, and those trucks will all come on within the next couple of weeks. They're all being labeled now and just gone through to make sure that they've got all the equipment necessary. Now, this Impala now is open. I want to thank Chief Michael Gomes for that. That's thanks, Mike. And the Impala, again, very modern cab, five passenger capability, great mileage. This is a flex fuel vehicle. This is a GM flex fuel vehicle, which gives us some options if there's flex fuel available in this region of our state. And again, good tires, and and you know, power steering, appropriate, safe for our employees. I want to thank, there are a couple of people on our side. Now listen to the way this sounds. Solid as a rock. Now, here's what I want to say though that is important. A lot of people came together on this. The department heads who knew what their vehicle needs were. Larry Warden, who worked very, very hard to make sure he matched up needs with vehicles, and then went up and worked with all the GSA personnel to make sure that we were able to get the best possible cars. We literally got, and I don't want to say this too loud, but we got the cream of the crop. And that was because of Bob. Bob made sure that we got an opportunity to get up there early, go through the cars, make sure we got the right ones. The other thing is that the day of the auction, Norm Ardette and Bill Burns worked very closely with all our department heads on this. But the day of the auction, the second auction, Larry, Bill, and Norm went up to the auction itself, worked their way through the auction, secured the heavy trucks and pickup trucks that we needed, and the SUVs we needed for the fire department. The fire department, I'm going to have the chief come down because he can describe to you the fire SUVs that we have and how this is a tremendous upgrade. So Chief, why don't you come down for 1 minute? But this saved money, and this is a program we want to continue. Go ahead, Chief. I'll come right in here next to you, Chief.
Boy, and again, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Use them in health.
We have a 1992 Crown Victoria that's well past its useful life that we were replacing. We have a 1994 Crown Victoria that we're replacing. Two 1997 Ford Expeditions that again are upwards of 160, 170,000 miles and have become maintenance nightmares, if you will. So this is going to help our reliability. Plus, this allows us every single service vehicle we have out in the field, except for mine, will be four-wheel drive. So that when we have snow, hurricanes, things of that nature, gives us the ability to go where we need to go and get through any type of weather that we may have here in New England. So this has been very helpful in getting these vehicles in order to increase our reliability and increase the safety for our personnel.
That's great, Chief. Thank you. So, just any questions before we wrap up?
Mayor, I mean, so in essence, you got 25 vehicles. Is that a total?
We got 25 total vehicles, and saved on Blue Book value. We saved about $110,000, and off of the Blue Book value for these 25 vehicles, and on new purchase price, we saved over $415,000.
And Mr. Administrator, why doesn't more communities do this? I mean, this seems like almost too good to be true to buy these kind of vehicles with that kind of savings.
It really is a very good program. The truth of the matter is communication between the local federal offices and city halls isn't always as good as it needs to be. And again, I have to congratulate the city of New Bedford for recognizing the virtue of the program. When we came and we talked about it, we didn't get sort of, thanks, go back up to Boston and we'll forget you were ever down here. We got an enthusiastic reception, and folks were willing to do the work to make the program work.
All right. Mayor, how did you find out about it? Was it just something you administrated?
We had a meeting. The administrator came down. We had a meeting to talk about different projects we could work on with GSA. And in the course of that conversation, I asked Bob, you know, we're always looking for heavy equipment vehicles, and he said, well, I can help you with both, and let's talk about it. And within 3 weeks, we had a system in place that really has helped the city greatly. What I'm hoping for, the first purchase we bought was on August 23rd. That was 13. The second purchase was on October 25th, and that was the 12th. What I'm hoping for is we still have about 25 vehicles that we need to take off the road. I'm hoping that GSA has another auction in the near area. In other words, maybe down to DC, up through New York, wherever, where we can find the last 25 and get all of our vehicles that cost much more in the way of time and effort and in parts than they should be, so that we can modernize our fleet at a very reasonable price. If we did that, quite frankly, we were budgeting millions of dollars for new vehicles. My gut feeling on this is we can get this entire project done for about $500,000, which is just an unbelievable buy. I mean, it's a great buy.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
can I help you, sir?
Found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator.
This desperate search doesn't need to ruin your perfect day. In New Bedford, all of that cardboard can be recycled. Flatten those boxes to no longer than 2 by 3 feet. Place them in your recycling bin and set it at the curb on your collection day.
Join us in making New Bedford a cleaner place. Recycle your cardboard. To request a free recycling bin, call 508-979-1493. Recycle more, New Bedford.
Rob, what's up? How's it going? Guys, this is my cousin Rob from Michigan.
What's up?
He's a teenager.
Hey, what's totally. All right. Oh, hey, you want to slow down?
No.
Really? Huh. Hey, you know what a beautiful animal is? A horse. A horse. Yeah. Beautiful mane. Unbelievable muscle tone. When it runs, it looks like poetry in motion. It's the most beautiful thing on earth. And sometimes when you feed a horse, its lips will tickle your hand. Just tickle it just a little bit. It makes me giggle sometimes. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you don't slow down, I'm gonna bite into your head like an apple. And thanks, guys, for listening to my horse stories. I could talk about ponies all day long.